In this video, we will talk about how to decompose functions. So I have three examples for us to work through here. Let's check out this first one. We have the function h of x is equal to 5x plus 2 squared. We're asked to find f of x and g of x such that h of x is equal to f of g of x. So these types of problems look a little bit intimidating, but I'm going to break down exactly how you can do them in a really straightforward manner. So notice we're trying to find an f of x and a g of x such that when we place g of x inside of f of x, we're left with this h of x. So the first thing you always want to do is find this inner function, so find g of x. So the way that you can do that is just look for where does the x occur in this h of x function along with any terms that are added or subtracted with it. So we can see that the x occurs right here, and we have a 5x plus 2. So if we want, we can think of this 5x plus 2 as a group. So this group that we identify with the x term, we're going to use that as g of x. So we can say g of x is equal to 5x plus 2. Now f of x, this is like the outer function. So I like to think of this as what is being done to the inner function that we just identified. So if we have a 5x plus 2 right here, what's being done to it? It's being raised to the power of 2. So what we can write for f of x is this function being raised to the power of 2. And when we say this function right here, all we have to write is an x to represent this entire function. So we'll say x is being raised to the power of 2. So this is our answer. If we want to double check that it's correct, all we have to do is write f of g of x and see if we actually get this original h of x equation. So the way that we do that is we plug in g of x in for x in this f of x equation. So if we plug in g of x into x right here for this f of x equation, instead of writing x squared, we're going to write 5x plus 2. So we're going to say 5x plus 2 squared. That's what f of g of x is. And we'll notice this perfectly matches h of x. So that's how we know we got the right answer. So again, this is our final answer. G of x is 5x plus 2, and f of x is equal to x squared. All right, let's try another one. We have h of x is equal to 1 over x plus 4. Find f of x and g of x such that h of x is equal to f of g of x. So again, we'll start with g of x, this inner function. We're just identifying where is x in this equation along with any other terms that are added or subtracted with the x. So we can see, if we want, we can call this group right here x plus 4. This can be our inner function. So we'll say g of x is x plus 4. Now, what is being done to this inner group? Well, we can see that it's being placed into the denominator of a fraction, where 1 is the numerator. So for f of x, remember this is like the thing that's being done to the g of x, we're placing x, this whole group right here, underneath a 1. So this would be our final answer. And again, just to double check that we got the right answer, we can say, okay, what is f of g of x? Well, this means just insert g of x into x in the f of x equation. So if we insert g of x into x for this equation, we get 1 over, instead of x, we're writing x plus 4. And this perfectly matches h of x. So that's how we can verify that we got the right answer. So again, here's our answer for g of x and f of x. All right, let's try one last example. We have h of x is equal to the square root of 2x minus 7. So again, to find f of x and g of x, we're first going to focus on g of x, the inner function. So let's identify where is x along with any terms that appear next to it or that are added or subtracted to it. Well, here's our x. So we could say this group right here, this 2x minus 7, let's let that be the inner function. So we'll say g of x is equal to 2x minus 7. Now, what is being done to this inner function? Well, we're taking the square root of it. So f of x, this outer function, we can say we're taking the square root of this inner function. And remember, when we write this inner function, we just represent it as an x. So that's our answer for this one. So again, to verify that we got the right answer, let's write f of g of x and see if we actually get h of x. So this says place g of x into x for the f of x function. So if we insert g of x in for x in this f of x equation, we get the square root of, instead of x, we're going to write 2x minus 7. And we will see that this perfectly matches the h of x function. So that's how we know we got the right answer. So here is our final answer for g of x and f of x.